All right, first up is joyner Lucas broski video featuring I forget the actor's name, but I know he was on Power and a couple of things, and he's definitely a rising talent among Hollywood. But joyner Lucas, I don't never really know how to feel about him. I think he's an extremely talented rapper. He can clearly rap. He has the technical ability. He has some good songs. I also think he can be a bit kind of gimmicky. Every song seems to be like some overarching concept or talking to some societal issue or something, instead of just good music, something I can just vibe to. But I'm always down to kind of see what he does. He does do some dope things, so let's just head right into it. Broski. Me and Jordan definitely made the same face when I heard that line. Maybe you can break me off something. Like I said, he's known for his little concepts and conceptual songs and topics, and obviously he's speaking from the vantage point of somebody who's made it and then whose friends look a little jealous and envious maybe. Yo, what? Yo, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, the whole story is pretty wild. Like I said, he's very known for his conceptual storytelling, songs and songwriting and style. Obviously, this isn't much of a song per se. He definitely, I don't know. There's no choruses, there's no hooks. It's just straight bars and straight storytelling. Like, he really should try his hand at screenwriting or being like a straight up poet, because his ability to craft a story and tell a tale is certainly kind of unmatched in today's day and age, especially in hip hop. This shit was wild. Like, this is like a story kind of as old as time. I guess you can see like one man kind of rises above his situation and elevates to this plateau, while his friends are kind of just hanging around. At first they're all cool and happy for him, and then eventually that kind of turns into jealousy, envy, and hatred. And it's something that you see played out all too often, even in real life. So this is a wild story. This is a wild song, and like I said, I don't really vibe with all of his like conceptual shit, but this right here, this is dope. Crazy, absolutely crazy. I gotta give it to him. That was certainly impactful. The acting was on point. Obviously, the actor did a great job. Cinematics were fire. Like, he really should try his hand at screenwriting and like crafting an actual short story, at least, or short film, because he has that potential. He certainly has that potential. Let's go to the next track. Boz, Passport Bros, featuring J. Cole. Hey man, I gotta shout out Class Angelo. That's my all-time favorite tequila, and I swear to God, I was on that way before everybody else is on there. Definitely certainly the new wave. I remember it being like $50, $60, $70. Now it's like $170 for one bottle. It's kind of crazy. So it's dope to see other people kind of like catching on, but also like, bro, can y'all go somewhere else? Like, the price get insane out here. Hey, that was a bop. That was certainly a bop. That was a vibe, as played out as I think Afro beats have kind of become, because everybody seems to have one in their catalog these days, even if it doesn't really make sense. That was a vibe. I was definitely rocking with that one. I really hope that they were getting paid by Class Angelo, or like they getting some type of sponsorship, or this has become one of the soundtracks to maybe one of the commercials or something, because that was just a straight up advertisement for Class Angelo. Like I said, best tequila in the game. I ain't lying. Let's go to the next one. Fridayy, When It Comes to You. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. He might have had the best blow up, however you want to say it, in the game in recent history, because he basically came out of nowhere and somehow got hopped onto a song with, you know, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and Jay-Z. And then he went from like nobody knowing who he was to like him being everywhere, especially among hip hop and R&B fans. And like he really took advantage of that. And like from then was like a year ago to now, he's already got like a debut album out. And I didn't hear an album, but if it's anything like this, it's gonna be fire. Because this song right here, this is a pop. Like I said, to me, he's like this generation's modern day Life Jennings, the way he can kind of straddle the street and rap and hip hop, but still be like kind of like classic 90s type R&B, which quite honestly, it's about time for that sound to come back. I think we've done enough of this alternative R&B, not speaking about like love or like any real issues or like any real emotions, just the straight up debauchery and womanizing. But like this is more traditional love song, like actual love song. Like this could be like a modern day wedding song that's low-key genius. So dope, shout out to him. Let's go to the next one. Karol G, S91. Hey, she's it. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I thought reggaeton, after, you know, growing up during like kind of what I consider the heyday of reggaeton with Daddy Yankee and all that, when it kind of first started really popping up in the mainstream, I thought it might have been over. I didn't really expect to hear it come back around, but it's certainly back, and in a massive way. And it's like arguably one of the top kind of sounds right now. And in terms of reggaeton artist, Karol G is definitely up there towards the top. Like every song that I've heard from her has absolutely been fire, and like she's got all the qualities that you would want from like a mega pop star. And sheesh, that was another slapper. Like I'm definitely messing with this new reggaeton wave. Down with it, down for it. And then I'm gonna be checking pretty much every time she drops now. Let's go to Steve Lacy, Helmet. Another artist who I didn't necessarily see their glow up like happening as big as it did. Like he turned into like this huge, massive kind of household name among, you know, musicians. And it's kind of crazy because I've always been like a massive internet fan, and I think like most people thought Sid was the one that was gonna like blow up big from the group. And while she did have, you know, some big numbers, some big hits, it was never quite on the level of what he did, and I don't think even he expected to. But then like when I heard the solo project he put out, like Steve Lacy's demo, which followed up like Matt Martian's tape and all that, I was like, yo, there's definitely something here. Like he has something about him that is special. Like you could tell pretty early on. I just didn't expect it to be as big or grow up, like blow up as big as it has become now. And it's pretty wild to see, but it's super dope because he's super talented and deserves all the recognition that he's getting. And like he's putting out really dope fucking music, and he has like these qualities of like an Andre 3000 mixed with like old soul funky elements of like Stevie Wonder, mixed with like all these kind of like alternative rock elements as well. Like he's unique in today's music, and he's dope. He just keeps putting out fire. Let's go to next track, Doja Cat, Paint the Town Red. Hey, bro. One thing I will say about her, about Doja Cat, is she always has some wild ass visuals, and like that from the beginning, just like, yo, what is going on? I mean, you know, people are gonna get their panties, underwear in a bunch, seeing all this kind of like demonic devil imagery in her music and videos. Like I can already hear like the Twitter and the typing going crazy right now. I'm gonna give it to her. Early on in her career and the music that she's putting out, I wasn't really that big of a fan. I felt like she was kind of just doing things just to do them for shock and just kind of sensationalism. But over time, I think her music has grown and evolved to a point where it's like pretty undeniable at this point. Like, she's fire. She's super talented. She's like a quadruple threat in music. She could do everything you would want an artist to be able to do. I mean, she's got the charisma and attitude of like a Left Eye, kind of the visual eye and sensibilities of like a Missy Elliott, even weirder than what Missy was doing and a little more for shock value. And she's got like the singing and rapping ability of like a Lauryn Hill. Like, I'm kind of surprised that she's able to flow and spit and sound as good as she does. She did say she could rap. She wasn't lying. She definitely sounds a lot better than a lot of these newer male rappers hopping into the game. So beat was fire. Visuals were absolutely crazy. Song was a vibe. Dope. Let's go to the next one. Ciara, Chris Brown, How We Roll. Okay, that was cool. It was cool. Talk about throwback. That definitely feels like a throwback to the early days of of the 2000s and early 2010s. Back when, Ciara and Chris Brown were arguably some of the biggest kind of pop artists out there in the game. It's pretty wild that they're, still at it, still doing it. It's been a long time since Ciara put out any like significant music. So I don't know if this is like her official return or whatnot, but it was cool. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it feels a bit dated. It feels like something that came out, like I said, early 2000s, 2010s. Like, it's a cool little vibe. It's nothing that's like crazier to write home about, but I mean, it's dope to see them back together, and the choreography was dope. Video was cool. Like, they're professionals at this point. Like, it is the quintessential kind of like R&B pop song. Nothing more, nothing less. It is kind of jarring to go from like a Doja Cat and then to this. Like, you can kind of see how far like the sound of like pop and R&B and that whole kind of genre has changed and shifted over the years. So it certainly kind of dates it, but for older generation, it's cool. Let's go to Halle, Angel. Damn. I knew she was talented. I ain't gonna lie. I knew she was talented. Obviously, for a reason she's at where she's at. But I was never like a huge Chloe and Halle fan. Like, I didn't really check out their music like that. And so I didn't really know just how talented she is. But Jesus, her vocals are insane. Like, okay, I can see why she got the part of Ariel now. And I think she might have stronger vocals than her sister. I hate to compare, but she might have stronger vocals than her sister, and she's certainly kind of taking a different lane, a different role in her career, and musically and stylistically, than her sister so far, from what I've heard. And this song seems to be like kind of a direct response to all this shit, racism, vitriol, anger that like was pointed at her over the past like 3 years or more, ever since they announced her as the next like Little Mermaid. It was insane the amount of like shit that she went through for playing a fucking fictional mermaid in a Disney movie, but she did it, and by all accords, she did a great job in it. And this certainly seems like kind of an affirmation of who she is, and like reaffirming herself to be like, no, like, you're dope. You know what I mean? Like, you're special. You can do things that other people can do, and clearly, like, her vocals in the song is crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dope song. Let's go to the next one. Gunna, Rodeo Drive. Okay. Yeah. Obviously we reacted to Gunna a lot over the last couple of months, especially like with the new album that dropped. We had a full reaction to the album. I already reacted to this song, but the video's dope. Clearly alluding to kind of like the notoriety and like the publicity he was getting due to his case with YSL and whatnot. And it was kind of like a, you know, a middle finger to everybody that said he wouldn't be back. But it's clear he's back, man. Like, it's the age-old question. Like, is his music good enough to kind of like elevate over the situation? And I think the short answer for that is a resounding hell yeah. Like, everybody's been bumping his ish. Like, you hear his music everywhere. You don't really even hear people even talking about his situation in the case anymore. Like, when you put out good music, it kind of washes a lot away. And he certainly seems to have overcome his situation, regardless of how you feel about it. Dope song, dope video. All right, let's go to the next one. Little Yachty, last one. Little Yachty, Slide. It was cool. I will say Yachty is somebody who's definitely changed my opinion about him over the years. I wouldn't say I was anti-Yachty, but I was certainly good on hearing him or listening to any of his music. I didn't think he was very good artistically, musically. But he has certainly grown and evolved and changed over the years. And I think he certainly started to come into his own, and he's found like a sound that really fits him. I was kind of wondering where he would go after his like alternative psychedelic rock turn, but he seems to be kind of going back into that kind of like sound and era that he was doing a little bit before, maybe with a upgraded sound, and his flow is certainly much better than I remember it being. So I mean, it was cool. It was a cool little number. Like, it kind of still sounds like a lot of everything that is out there these days, but I would say on a higher level than a lot of like the artists out there doing it. So I mean, it was cool. Nothing crazy, but much better than I expected it to be.